Look over here. You can see what appear to be the missiles. Over there in Israel, what they're reporting is that, as far as we know, 2 missiles, 2 rockets were launched against Israel. Let's go into the details of what is known so far about this attempted attack, which was obviously intercepted by their defense system. Israel reportedly confirmed the launch of 2 projectiles from the north of Gaza during the early hours of Sunday, September 21st. I imagine these images must be different, even though they're shown with this report. It's daytime here, so these images must be from the archives or something similar. But one of the devices was intercepted by the Air Force, while the second one simply landed in an open area. The air raid alarms were reportedly activated in the Lachish and Asdosh regions, obviously causing tension in the area. This image, published in Israeli media right now, was released about 2 hours ago. I imagine it must be another rocket, possibly. If the publication is recent and there are several similar posts, it will likely be reported. No one has claimed responsibility for the attack, though it is believed to be the work of an isolated cell from Hamas or from Islamic Jihad. Such incidents are now rare inside Gaza, with attacks from Gaza becoming less frequent. Because they're already operating with the bare minimum, they really have very little material left, and there are few people remaining, although they insist that they have recruited another 20,000 soldiers, the members of Hamas, another 20,000 as members, so to speak. From that terrorist group, the Gaza Civil Defense Agency has reported at least 6 deaths. How is it? According to the reports, they've been saying that this might have been because of some new bombings by Israel. Widespread attacks have also targeted buildings inside Gaza, especially in Gaza City. They say they're trying to take full control of it. At the same time, the armed wing of Hamas, the Al-Qassam brigades, also reportedly released more propaganda images that we mentioned to you yesterday, where they showed the image of the 48 kings, right? That too? Well, it's part of what's been happening around that region of Israel. Another issue that also draws attention within these tensions in the area is it that the United States is in direct talks with Israel to seek a solution or different ways to solve the issue in Gaza? But at the same time, it is not being... There's a lot of pressure for change right now. In fact, they were already saying from the United States that for them, it would actually be more like giving the final ultimatum to Hamas to hand over the hostages. Otherwise, apparently, they could also take action, some kind of action, though they don't specify what. But that also caught attention in the last day, a separate issue that's also drawing attention. Because it wasn't clear what's going to happen with the issue of Poland and what's going to happen with the issue of, well, the nervousness that's in Poland right now and in NATO. Because, well, Russia is getting closer and closer to the countries, which isn't so good. Well, Donald Trump reaffirmed today that they are going to support Poland and the Baltic countries. So in case of an escalation by Russia, he says they would take action, meaning they would get involved. That's a separate point from Trump's recent reactions on the matter, which made it seem like the United States wouldn't intervene. Well, now they say they will. The statement comes after everything, all this week. From invasions of airspace in Estonia, mainly in Poland, although also in Romania. Moscow denies the incursion, despite clear evidence like photos and radar. Still, they deny it. But now even Estonia is suggesting that next time they might shoot. Estonia actually claims they would. When they saw the 3 planes and didn't respond to the warning, then another and another, they thought it was about to happen, and to open fire. Then the order came not to open fire, but Estonia was this close to firing at Russian planes in Estonian territory. Obviously, then things are really tense, or could something happen at any moment? Well, a confrontation between them and Russia, which is not exactly a war, but yes, at least a confrontation could happen at any moment if things keep going like this. This was also discussed at the convened Emergency United Nations Security Council meeting. By the way, it's scheduled for tomorrow. It will take place tomorrow. In other words, the meeting under Article 4, which already took place within NATO, and now also in the United Nations Security Council, where China participates, Russia participates. All of that will be discussed tomorrow in New York. So tomorrow morning, well, tomorrow, September 21st, we will be reporting on what's happening in New York, because obviously it's going to be very interesting. There's no time, they haven't set a time, but the Security Council has already been officially convened, so tomorrow there will be information. There will possibly be a reaction from China, and there will be a reaction from other countries. Well, they haven't commented much about it. Another topic that also draws attention today is these images coming from Venezuela. Let's take a look at what has been observed. They say these are already desperate actions. I don't know, but well, it looks like it. Like armored vehicles, something like that. They're in Venezuela. People there record them, right? They post them on social media because, well, it catches their attention. I imagine, I don't know, that's it. There are like 4 armored vehicles. I mean, no, it's not like they're in lines. There are like 4 armored vehicles. That issue draws attention. Also, this image has been drawing attention. An image of a Russian jet. It's about Ukraine. This would be about Dnipro. And check out the actions they took with 13 jets, because that's Ukraine shooting down a drone. Those jets. Look at how they do it. Well, they even got applause. Impressive. Look, listen again. Listen for a moment. Listen to the explosion for a moment. Let's say, right? There it goes. That's impressive, right? Isn't a missile coming? Well, does he catch it? Isn't that the Chargé, a triangular drone? Woo, there it goes. Woo. Woo. All right, 6, listen up. The bomb, right? And well, obviously, people were worried because they were watching the jet. They could hear it, actually, that it was being shot at, because they were also shooting at it with machine guns, with artillery. But suddenly a missile comes and it sends it flying, right? But there are hundreds and hundreds of these every day. It's also a really serious issue. All right, let's move on to other important topics.